7 o'clock. The date is now January 13th, and everyone please rise for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call roll, please. Sturritt.
Here.
Audie. Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Cooper. Here. Baylor.
Here.
Wallach. Everyone has the agenda in front of them. We would like to add under new business, letter F, sale of police car. Are there any other additions, deletions, or is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, I'll move that the agenda be approved as amended.
Motion by Mr. Ballard. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Wallach. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Any citizen comment on non-agenda items? Any citizen comment? Hearing none, we have no presentations tonight. We are now under administrative reports. Everyone has the building department report. Are there any commissioner liaison reports at this time?
I've got a quick one.
Okay.
Ran into a little problem back on well 6 and 7. Power went out Saturday night. Edison's been out there working on it, and we're back up and running. But along with that, Tuesday, we developed a problem with the generator. With the real cold weather, and that's a natural gas generator. There's a lot of moisture involved, and it froze up the switches on it to tell it to shut off, because it goes on Tuesday as a test thing. But we had that brief little power outage that went on before that. And then Ed realized about 2 or 3 o'clock it was still running because the switch was froze up. It didn't tell it to kick back off. And the company that was going to work on it, they came out and they said they're going to put heaters on it to get us all up and running. And they never showed up that week. And then, of course, Saturday night, of all things, we lose power on that well. So we ran well 8 longer than we usually do. And everything worked out. But Ed talked to the people from the company that the generator, and they said you can fire it up manually, which we did. So we've been running the generator until Edison got our lines all back in out there. So I know some people were probably a bit annoyed with all the work going on back there during the night and during the day, Sunday, and hearing the generator run, but just something we had to do, and we're all back up and running now.
And all the holes are filled in and everything else? All the holes that DTE dug up are all filled
I
in?
would think I haven't gone back there physically.
Okay.
Dave, have you been back there?
It's just a little rough. They're filled in, but
Yeah, it's
they
all-
need a lot of work.
With as cold as it
Okay.
is too,
Right.
you know, it's gonna take a while to get things cleaned up, so.
Okay.
So that's all I have on the water.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Any questions for Mr. Clark? Any other commissioner liaison reports at this time?
Madam President,
Yes.
I have 2 of them. First, I would like to report that I've received compliments for our DPW on the job that they did on the streets during the last snowfall. Did a good job. The streets were plowed out, and they continued to salt and scrape and get them down to the pavement finally here after we got some weather that salt would work. So I want to say thank you very much to our DPW. Also, I do have from Giffords-Webster an update, and this is kind of lengthy, but I'm going to start out with the 2014 East Main Street project. We are currently approved for the money through the 2014 STPU funds of the TIP program. We're planning to submit a revised cost estimate to me and to the council for review within the week. The TIP amendment request will be submitted to the Macomb County Department of Roads at the end of the month. Now, we have had to amend this because of some snafu in the funding, but it's going to be put in by the end of the month. Once the TIP amendment is accepted by the committee, it will be assigned a job number and go to the federal tip for amendment approval. Once the funds are obligated for the PE, then to work for the professional engineering, then work can begin, and this is usually about a month process. So we should have something by, I'm gonna say the second meeting of next month. The engineering consultant will need to prepare plans and submit plans for inspection for 6/27/14 to receive the 2014 obligation of funds, and these funds will actually be used in the spring of 2015 for construction. During this time, we'll be working on a third-party agreement in accordance with MDOT regulations, and we'll also need to be reissuing a engineering package for the project based on qualifications due to the amount of needed funds for this portion. Okay. Our 2015 Prospect Street Bridge, we are approved for a total of $341,000. $294,000 for the rehab of the Prospect Street Bridge, and $47,000 for the removal and addition of a temporary culvert at the current closed Teed Street Bridge. This project is a 95-5 split of the construction cost. An engineering cost breakdown will be provided for our review and recommendation before the next meeting, so we'll get it to us prior to our next meeting. We should begin this work very soon to get the project into the correct funding pattern, so I'm going to need this project put on our next agenda.
The bridge project.
The bridge project, correct. Construction work is scheduled for the 2015 MDOT fiscal year, which will be from October 14th through September 2015. And 2017 West Main Street, we are approved for a total of $1,050,000 for the reconstruction of West Main Street from Coon Creek Bridge to the West Village
I'm
limits.
sorry, what was that amount again?
$1,050,000.
And what is the split on that?
I don't have that in front of me. What is the split?
2080.
20/80 split.
Including engineering again?
I believe we did have a PE.
What year is that gonna be?
That's 2017.
I like all these projects, but I worry about
We're stretching
having
along here.
our portion to do it.
Well, so far, we're in pretty good shape on our East Main Street and our bridge. So, by the budgets.
Budgeted last year.
Yes. So we're in good shape there. 2017, we're gonna scrimp and save for a couple of years on that.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine.
Can I ask a question? 2017, does that include the bridge on the west side of Main Street
No.
at the very end?
That's,
Over by the nursing home.
no, that's not ours.
That's township.
That's township.
Why
The
is it
bridge is,
township?
it's in village limits.
It's in village limits.
Yeah,
Tracy's house is.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, I know Tracy's house is.
Tracy's house
And
is
it's
the last
before
house.
Tracy's house, it's,
That's right in front of it.
That is not a bridge, that's a culvert.
it's right here.
Yeah,
It goes
right.
across the Woodbeck grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
Culvert.
that's Tracy's.
That's
Yeah.
a
It's a
culvert.
nice
Yeah.
culvert.
Goes across the
Yeah.
Woodbeck.
Looks like a bridge.
Is that scheduled to be included in
No.
repair? So we're gonna put brand new,
Road right over the top.
I think that it hasn't been that long ago that that bridge
The
was
county,
done,
right,
was
the
it?
county just did that.
but it's very narrow.
I
It
mean,
is narrow.
not since I've been here, but
But you don't have the big sides on it like a bridge does and all
Yeah.
that.
It's a culvert.
that's what
And one more thing.
Okay.
That is in the village, that culvert.
The East Main project being delayed till spring of 2015. I mean, that kind of does concern me. I really would like to get it done this year.
Well, I'd like to have it done last year, but you know, things happen. And so we're not gonna get it done this year. It'll have to be the spring of 2015.
And this was nothing that we had done. It's
No.
the way the county is handling the money.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Okay? This goes to Michelle.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Ballard?
I do have one other thing. We do have a problem over on Spencer Street with water on the sidewalks. And I'm gonna turn that over to Andy tonight for Mr. Zarrett at the 74675 Spencer Street. He says he have questions, anything being done about Spencer sidewalks, and they are horrible. So we're gonna let Andy take a look at those.
I know the corner over by the school is all underwater.
Yep.
The kids are trying to cross and it's a
It's gonna be a sheet
pond.
of ice here in a day or two.
So you may wanna take a look at that tonight, Andy, as you go by. I don't know if you have a flashlight or not, but it's a pond. So there's no way the kids can get through to cross the street.
Is that due to just to a catch basin maybe being
I'm not
frozen over
sure.
top of?
I think it's
That's why it's
because of
ongoing?
streets.
It's ongoing, it rains, it floods,
Okay.
right on the corner, and then down up to the north end up there, it floods.
Mm. On Prospect, it's on the northwest
Prospect,
corner.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
I
old
think there is
That's
a
all.
catch basin there.
Yep, it's all underwater. Any other questions? Hearing none, any other liaison reports?
I just want to say quickly, I understand at the township meeting on Wednesday, the CDBG funds were brought up for the village. That was because I had just posed a question. I'm kind of putting out a fishing pole to see what bites, to see if anybody has any ideas, just as I've been doing with you guys. I talked to the clerk at the township about that, just to see if what senior center plans were. I know that's where they plan on spending their money. But because it was mentioned at their meeting, I wanted to just tell you guys that that's how that happened. We do have our CDBG committee meeting on Wednesday, and we're gonna have the county here. Andy's gonna come. I've got my committee, I don't know if all of my committee's coming, but I'm hoping most of them can make it. I know there's some council people that wanna come, which I'm grateful for. And, you know, hopefully, I have a bunch of ideas that have been either emailed to me or told me verbally that we're gonna run by the county to see, you know, what sticks. You know, this is the same thing we go through every year, where we come with ideas. But that's where that's at. So I'll have an update of the meeting at our next meeting, just so everybody's aware.
Any questions? Hearing none, any other liaison reports? Hearing none, we will move on to our consent agenda. Is the approval of the regular council meeting minutes of December 16th, 2013, and payment of bills. Are there any, is there anything anyone would like to pull, or is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, I'll move that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Motion by Mr. Ballard, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. We have no old business tonight. Moving on to new business. The first item is the laptop for the police department. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none. Police Commissioner Wallach, this is your agenda item.
Yes, just 1 second.
Sure.
Well, I talked to Howard, and he's requesting to get this computer to be used mainly for the salvage title inspections.
If you need that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It's for the salvage title inspections. And naturally, we brought in about $22,000, almost $23,000 for the inspections, and then paying out the officer. So the thing is that we still have a profit of approximately $9,000. So this computer, he's pricing at $2,464.51. So we still have a surplus to our good in doing this. And I told him even today that I would be willing to go along with this, and more record keeping, and we could also convert this computer to use for the patrol car too eventually, I guess apparently he's telling me too. So I think it would be foolish not to do it at this time. So, and naturally, most of the stuff today, everything practically is on computers anyhow, so easier to look up than the paperwork in the file. So I think at this time I resolved to approve the police department purchasing, excuse me, a new mobile computer from Dell Corporation to be used for the salvage vehicle inspection program and to be paid for the proceeds collected from this department in the amount not to exceed $2,500. So
Motion by Mr. Wallach, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion? Any questions for Mr. Wallach?
Well, what does it, where are we with our police budget for the year?
This is way over what we predicted for the salvage title.
No, I'm talking about the overall budget.
I believe they are under budget right now, or right on target for their budget at this point.
Because, so this 2,500 puts them over their budget for the year?
No, they're on target right now to be
Not
right
talking
at.
about the salvage part, I'm talking about the police budget.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
This $2,400 or $2,500 is coming out of the proceeds from the
I know.
He understands.
But that's just the revenue to the police department, just like a ticket would be or
Correct.
whatever. So that,
The last-
if your expenses are over your revenues is what
Oh.
we don't want.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah, no, I
Well,
I
our
don't have
expenses
that.
are always gonna be over our revenues for the police department. That goes without saying. They always have been.
No, but what we budgeted.
But what we budgeted, they are on target to be right at where they always are, right about at the end of the year where they predicted they would be. So the last report that I received from Joe, I believe it was at, or 3/4 into the year, and they were at like 70, right around 70-some thousand, or 70-some percent. So they're right at where they're supposed to be, based on the last report that I received.
And this stuff doesn't go back into the police budget, it goes into the general fund, right? I mean, the
Well,
police.
general fund is part of the
Right.
police budget.
Right,
It's capital.
yes.
It's capital, right. And it would have hold off on them having to purchase another computer for another card anytime soon, because it would be a backup.
Why can't
for it.
one of our other computers do this? You know, because our general fund is a little bit in the red. Or at least we had projected it would be.
The only computers they have there are desktops. The only 2 laptops they have are in vehicles. This would be a laptop, which would be easier to take out. I believe he actually needs it to go out to the car
Right.
to look at the title and
It
the
could be used in a car, period. So, like I said, later on, it could be used too, and converted to the lien and that kind of stuff as well, I believe, so.
Yeah, it's not a one-time use. I mean, you
But
know.
I guess what I understand is the computer can do many functions. You can have many programs on the computer, not just one. Why can't we use whatever salvage program you want on one of the ones?
Well,
we
the
have now?
other
Does it
2
be in
cars
the
could be
car?
in use, Dave, is the thing. And they can't base that, at all. They'll warrant it to be as such, so.
Right now, Officer Cubit is using his own personal tablet to do this. Because there is not a laptop he can just take out of a car and go up and do the salvage title on it. You just can't do that. They're all hardwired in and everything else. This would be a backup to another one where we could get it hardwired in if we ever needed it. But right now, he's doing it on his own personal computer. So I think Chief wants to make sure that it stays in the village. I think that's why, another reason why.
I don't want him using his own stuff on something we're profiting from
Right.
personally.
Well, that's why I say there's one bill in here, I was gonna question myself, but I haven't had a chance to go through all the bills yet. And I don't like paying so much mileage, either. So especially if our own car can be used, but something on this back here, I don't like our patrol vehicle being tied up, even though we have a surplus, or the 3rd car, So because we have to pay the gas and the insurance and all that too.
You're talking still this program, this salvage program?
Yes, yeah, it's still.
Well, this is something you could probably evaluate after a year, because this is still kind of new, right? We've been
Well,
doing it
yeah,
a
sure,
year,
it's
year
a
and a half.
little over a year,
Yeah.
so, and that's why I said, Howard is very comfortable with the fact that, we're making money on it. And so the thing is that, I couldn't see, we should, stop either, but
Marv,
I know
I 100% agree with you.
I just
It's-
know the bottom
What I'm
line.
not comfortable with is a general budget or a general fund that's in the red.
Right, I understand the bottom line.
That's the part I'm not. It's not, Craig the chief does all he can to help our situation. I
Right.
understand that.
The bottom line, I agree with you.
Mm.
Are there any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the table. I do believe it is a roll call vote.
Yep. Woollett,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes.
Harry, I'm not gonna call you on that one since you weren't
That's
here for
fine.
the whole meeting.
So you will
Discussion.
put abstain?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Wallach.
You're welcome.
Next agenda item is set budget meeting dates. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none, this is my agenda item. What's that?
I said, yeah, do we have to?
Yes. Yes, we do. All right, we are looking to set our budget workshops. Again, we're looking to start our meetings. Our meetings here start at 7 o'clock. I'd like to have the budget meetings start promptly at 5:30 before each of our meeting dates. If we need to, we will be including the two March 3rd and March 17th, which are not meeting dates, but we would need to adopt the budget on the March 24th meeting. So we do need to make sure everything's all set on March 24th. I'm requesting that everyone get with Joe before February 10th, hopefully within the next week or two, so she can make sure that all the bugs are out of it and everything's ready to go, so we can really look at a budget and start getting it down. I don't know what our rollout plan is, but like I said, the sooner you can get together with Joe, I think we already did our capital ones last year, so it should be pretty easy to go off of those and fill in your budgets for this year. Mike, you might have a little bit more of a difficult time, but I think
Depends
you
on
can
what
figure it out.
projects you do.
Right, right.
Is it possible that we get into the general first and leave the water and sewer? I mean, I know lately last 2 years we've done water and sewer first and then we're rushing to get general done.
Well, and the water and sewer are proprietary funds, so they
Right.
don't
They
need to be
don't
done
have to
right
be
away.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, it would depend on if Marv can get with Chief to go over the whole police, depend on if Ed can have time to go, and Lyle can have time to sit down with Joe to go over the DPW and the roads. It all kind of plays into it,
Yeah.
so,
It's no different than him having to get with those people.
I understand that too,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, it all plays in, and like I said, I'd like to get done the easiest ones first. Water is usually pretty easy, police is usually pretty easy, parks is usually pretty easy. So if we can start, ticking them off, and hitting them, that'd be great. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, the meeting dates are in the motion, so if someone could please make the motion, I'd appreciate it.
I'll make a motion to set the 2014 budget workshop dates of February 10th and 24th, March 10th and 24th at 5:30 p.m., including March 3rd and March 17th at 5:30 p.m. if necessary.
Motion by Mr. Stewart, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. I also want to let the public know that these are open meetings, so if anyone's interested in coming and hearing what goes on, you're more than welcome. Next agenda item is the Michigan Municipal League membership renewal. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none, village clerk, this is your agenda item.
Every year, just because of the amount, because of the bill it is, I bring this to you guys rather than just putting it on the schedule of bills. So it's that time of year again. The bill includes, that they haven't broken out, a legal defense fund, which, we've used this year, of $109, but that is you do not have to pay that. That is your choice if you want to pay that, or if you just want to pay the dues, which are $1,085. So
Did we pay the legal defense fund last year?
we did not.
Because it says your legal defense fund is for cases that have statewide impact.
Right.
So
Right.
the legal defense fund does not cover,
Well, probably not what we're doing. So
Any-
yeah, it's probably a misstatement on my part. But
Okay.
this, that's completely, it's your choice. You don't have to pay that. And last year we did not.
Jeff as our attorney, should we pay the legal defense fund?
Just by way of example, they do a lot of telecommunications, cable things.
Which we have used them for in the past.
I know they're getting involved in a case currently under appeal to the Sixth Circuit Federal Court on a ruling
on use of the right-of-way. In other words, can you compel someone to cut their grass? So those are the types, that would affect every municipality in the state. Historically, I think we probably, I don't know, Dave, probably 25% of the time we paid it and the other 75% we haven't.
I'm not sure.
I can't really give you a historical perspective of how often, but it isn't required. But again, it's not a great amount of money in the scheme of things, but.
I think we should, we use them, they're very, the MML has been very, very important to us. When we've needed them, they've been there, so I think we should myself.
What about the legal defense fund?
Yeah.
That's what I mean, I
Oh,
think we
yes,
should
good.
pay the other plus the legal defense fund.
Michelle, can I ask you one more quick question?
Yeah.
How much did we pay last year? Do you
It was
remember?
$1,085, I believe. You know what? I don't wanna say that for sure. I think the legal defense fund went up a little bit. I don't think it was 109 last year, I think it was 90 something.
Okay.
I believe the dues were $1,085.
Okay.
But I'd have to check that to be absolutely sure.
For $109, I don't think there's any question. We should be able to put that. Therefore, I will make a motion, resolve to approve the 2014 membership agreement with the Michigan Municipal League for a period of February 1st, 2014 to January 31, 2015, the amount of $1,194.
Motion by Mr. Ballard, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Conan. Any other discussion? Clerk call roll, please.
Ballard?
Yes.
Conan?
Yes.
Stirrit?
Yes.
Wolak?
Yes.
Audie?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Conan? Oh, I'm sorry, Cooper.
Yes.
They're both sealed.
I'm gonna say, she's gonna get to me at some point.
Did I forget? I thought I voted.
As soon as I said it. I'm having a lot of those moments lately.
So motion has carried. Thank you, everyone. Next agenda item is the DDA budget approval. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none. This is Treasurer Adair's agenda item. She is not here. So how about our DDA liaison taking it over?
Right, of course, as you know, the DDA now comes under the Planning Commission, but it is a separate meeting with separate minutes. When the one meeting ends, then this meeting starts, new call to order. But this is just the DDA budget. It's a budget to pay our bills for what we owe on the downtown road for the year. There's nothing in addition. With that in mind, I move to approve the proposed fiscal year 2014-2015 budget for the Downtown Development Authority Fund.
Motion by Mr. Conan. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion? We do another roll call.
Just as a kind of a note here, you'll notice that the projected surplus at the end of the year will not be enough to pay next year's cost. So we may pick up some TIF capture money. Right now, we're not proposing any, but we may pick up a couple thousand. Just like this year, we picked up $2,985. But we will have to take some money from what I think they call the construction account. And that will begin the process in probably around 2017. It's possible we may be taking from the general fund.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Conan?
Yes.
Ballard?
Yes.
Cooper?
Yes.
Wolak?
Yes.
Stirrit?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Audie?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Conan. Next agenda item is the budget amendment. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none. Village Clerk, this is your agenda item.
I'm just requesting that council allow me to reallocate some money out of my capital outlay funds to dues, which is dues will pay my schooling and stuff. There's a class I'd like to take through MAMAC in March. That's a 3-day class. It's $450. My capital outlay right now has like $1,300 in it. What I put against capital outlay at budget time was our codification for our ordinances. And we were looking into last year getting our zoning ordinance codified, but $2,000 will not touch that. That's gonna be like $8,000, I think they told me, if we were interested in doing that. So we did not pursue that this year. So I don't really have anything else to spend capital outlay on right now, except for maybe a new vacuum for the office, because we need one. But other than that, I just want to move it over and use it to go to that class. So that's what I'm asking.
I'll move to decrease expenditures of account 215-970 clerk general fund line.
Wait, Larry, here, read this one. Larry,
Okay,
I just
you
called
did
you,
one?
man, I need to go home.
One day for me too.
Yeah.
I'll resolve to amend the current fiscal year general fund clerk budget to decrease expenditures from account 215-970 clerk general fund line item capital outlay from $2,000 to $1,550, and to increase expenditures of account 215-962 clerk general fund line item dues from $75 to $525 to allow the clerk to attend the MAMAC Master Academy from March 18th to the 20th, 2014.
Motion by Mr. Audi, is there a second?
I'm sorry, Harry, you weren't here.
Support.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion?
Do you need money for a hotel? It's in Mount Pleasant.
I will pay for that.
Okay.
Is Mary going with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you're going.
Is this something you shared last year with Mary?
It's along the same lines. It's a different class, but yes, it's the same.
She can't share it with you this year?
Yeah, she can. Yeah, she can.
So in other words, it should cost us less than $450?
No, $450 is the class cost. I didn't include the hotel in there.
Any other discussion? So I leave roll call for budget amendments?
It can be, it doesn't have to be, but
We're on a roll anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I like calling all your names. Audie,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Sturritt,
Yeah.
Conan,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes,
Wolock.
motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next agenda item is the sale of the police car. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none, please Commissioner Wallach, this is your agenda item.
I had the paper here a second, please. Well, I lose these things so easy. Pile up on me. First, we're gonna save on insurance on this too, you know, taking off of that, so that's a big item, I guess, for our bottom line. So, the vehicle's already been taken, so we resolved to approve the sale of the 2001 Ford Crown Victoria, the VIN number 2FAFP71W41X188368, in the amount of $1,500 less a 10% fee for publishing and handling to Larry's Automotive, netting the village of $1,350.
Motion by Mr. Wallach, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion? Just so everyone knows, this is the old Scout car, which was the silver car. We took one of the old, six-cylinder car. The old six-cylinder car is now outfitted to be our new Scout car. So, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, does this need to be a roll call? Capital sale?
You can't.
Okay.
We're on a roll. Wolock,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Sturritt,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Audie,
Yes.
Conan.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Wallach. For upcoming agenda items, we have bridge projects done by Mr. Ballard. Are there any other upcoming agenda items anyone would like to add?
CDBG update.
CDBG update?
Well, CDBG committee meeting update. I will also be setting the CDBG public hearing at that meeting.
Any other upcoming agenda items? Hearing none? Any citizen comments? Any citizen comment? Hearing none? Any council comments? Hearing none. Community events. We have our benefit for Joel Haas, who is one of our firefighters. Is going to be at the Burville Lions Club Friday from 4 to 8. I believe it is a goodwill offering. It is a chili dinner. So there'll be lots of raffle items and things like that. They also have window decals for $2 that are for sale to help support the cause as well. And those are at Sheer Hair Saloon, which used to be Lisa Lee's, if anyone's familiar with that. There's also a fund set up, I believe, at CSB Bank too, if you just wanted to make a donation. Any other community events? Hearing none. We have no closed session tonight. The time is now 7:34. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Ballard, is there a second? Support by Mr. Wolak. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All